and welcome to the Brooklands Velocity Auction. I am with auction expert Matthew Priddy, YouTuber Tom Exton, and we have got lots of lovely things to share with you. So please come along and see them. Come to Brooklands in Surrey. We're open today, which is Wednesday, from 10 till 5. Same again tomorrow, Thursday, and again on Friday. The auction itself starts 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. I will be up on the rostrum, banging the gavel, selling some cars. You need to pre-register if you want to buy, and you can do that when you come here, or you can do that online. And of course, our auction is available for you to see online as well. Socials. Social media wise, make sure you are following us on all platforms. We are on YouTube, and we filmed a bit of a YouTube video here today as well, doing something I have actually done. I'm completely confused. Get on Instagram as well. The video will improve. Get on Instagram as well. Make sure you're following us on there, because you get a preview of all the cars ahead of the next auction. I think, speaking of cars. Yes, well, I am going to see if I can bag a bargain. It's winter. I want a convertible. Let's see what we got. Well, from a two-seater sofa to a two-seater convertible, this is a 1993 Lotus Elan. It is in this beautiful metallic blue colour. It has had one lady owner from new, and don't worry, I've not been anywhere near it. It has been garaged for most of its life. It's only ever really been driven in sunny climates. When it comes to mileage, the reading is just under 18,000 miles, and the estimate for this auction starts at £16,000 all the way through to 22. What about this little machine? It is a 1966 Mercedes-Benz Pagoda. It is left-hand drive. It started life in America, and then it came to the UK in 2018, where it went to a renowned specialist SL shop, and immediately £8,000 was spent on it. This comes with a really special rear seat. It's called a Kinder seat for children, and they can sort of sit sideways in the back. I say they, it's just one seat really. This also comes with a hard top, and its estimate at this auction is £56,000 to £64,000. Now, for a similar amount of money, there is this, a 2018 Ferrari California. A couple of seats in the back for little people. Up front though, a lovely V8 engine. Ooh, decisions. This car has to have the biggest rear seats of any convertible that I have looked at so far today. It is a 1979 Aston Martin V8 Volante, and it has had some work done by Aston Workshop. The engine, well, that's had a full rebuild, and it is bigger now. It is a 6-litre V8. In there, it's got fuel injection, and really good for everyday driving, it has got a modern automatic gearbox. Prices for this car at the auction range from £85,000 up to £100,000.
Cheers, Vicky. Right, kicking off with something that I definitely think you might not have seen before. Lot number 136 is this. It's by a company called Classic Coachworks. It's called a ZGT, and believe it or not, this car is actually from 1999. It's not as old as it looks. It's actually based on a BMW Z3, and it's got a 2.8-litre petrol engine in it. It's only covered less than 800 miles, and the estimate on this is £18,000 to £24,000. If you told me this was made by Zagato and was £1,000,000, I would have believed you. Really, really cool piece of kit, and I'm told these are a lot of fun. Very rare, very quirky, and a really cool one to kick off with. Let's go see what's next. I was actually going to cover some other cars, but walking past this, I've got a lot to say on Testarossas. I am a previous owner of a Testarossa. Foolishly, I actually sold mine around a year ago. The prices had started doing that, and I got out. But had I stayed in that car for at least another year, I'd probably be about £30,000 to £50,000 up based on where I sold that car. So the market on these is red hot, no pun intended. Testarossa means redhead, I think, or red top. It's powered by a flat 12 in the back, 390 brake horsepower, and good for apparently 181 miles an hour. Not that I tested it in mine. If you're looking to get into Testarossa ownership, I would say that it's a good time to do so. This is the iconic 80s Ferrari. Forget your F40s, they're 2 million quid. I think these are going to be really, really, really good news. You've got a couple of variants of the Testarossa. Most of them were in red with crema. You could get them in yellow. There are a few black ones knocking around, but I think collectible wise, the collector's always going to be wanting Rosso with crema, like this particular example here. The early cars came with knock-on wheels, not 5 bolts like this. This is a later car, being a 1991. The earlier cars came with knock-on wheels and the one wing mirror. They're called Mono Specchio Mono Dado wheels. I've completely butchered the pronunciation there, but a mono car is the early version of it. Quite hard to drive, as I found with mine, but this is a very, very usable example. You've got 5-bolt wheels, meaning that if you do get a puncture, someone can actually come and sort your tyre out for you rather than just look at your car and scratch their head. And you've also got wing mirrors on both sides, which, let me tell you, in London is key. This particular car then has only done 18,000 miles and it's had one keeper from new. It's had a recent full service and recommission and it's ready for the next owner. It's a fabulous example. It's right-hand drive. It's got the manual gearbox. Obviously, they all did. I love Testarossas. What more can I say? And looking at this, I realise once again what an idiot I am for selling mine. That is lot number, let me find out for you. That is lot number 182. Very good news. Lot number 120 then, and I promise I'm not using these videos to flex. I actually owned one of these in the past and I absolutely adore them. That's why I've picked it. It is a 911 Carrera from 1984. Right-hand drive with a 5-speed manual gearbox. These things are absolutely belting. Not only is it a 911, it's a 911 Targa. So you've got the benefit of convertible driving without feeling like a bit of a Wally with the whole roof down and getting that whole soft top, which can sometimes be a bit of an ag. So you have a little leather panel here that comes off, folds up and fits in the boot. I really love Targas, and this particular variant has got a beautiful blue interior. The body has actually been recommissioned and reshelled, so you won't have any nasty rust related bills like I did with mine. I wish I'd bought one like this that had been fully done in advance, because it would have saved me a lot of grief, a lot of time off the road, and in the end I sold mine to get my money back. This is a great buy. If you're looking for 911 ownership, this is it. Perfect car. Lot number 120. Let's see what's next. Last of my little batch then is this. I had to cover it before I went. I've seen this car before. It was at, I believe, the Ascot auction. Anyway, due to a non-paying bidder or whatever it was, this car was an opportunity to get it again. Another opportunity to get one of these rare cars again. You might be thinking, Tom, what on earth is this? It's some old Toyota. What is it? You're right, it is an old Toyota. It's a Toyota Century. It's actually got a V12 engine in it, probably given away by the plate. The engine was actually a V12 made by Lexus, and this is the status symbol of wealth in Japan on 4 wheels. The interior on this is absolutely balmy. It's luxury like you haven't seen before. It's got absolutely everything in there. You've got window blinds, you even got these little frilly things over the seats, TVs, it's all going on in there. And true to Japanese engineering, there isn't a single button that doesn't work. Built to last, it's done 112,000 miles. It can probably do 1 million more. This thing is the ultimate, if you know, you know. The estimate on it is very, very sensible indeed. And as I say, this is a Japanese Rolls Royce, and I dare say built a lot better as well. There is an entire rabbit hole on these cars. These cars have got a cult following. It's super, super cool. And if I had more than £5 to my name this month, I'd be having a bid on this, because this is absolutely insane. And if you do win it, please straight pipe it and let me listen to it. Anyway, on that silly note, Matthew, let's see what you've got.
Right, thanks Tom. Now, first car here, and we're going to have a good look through the history file for this because it's a particularly important piece of kit. It is offered at no reserve, and it's a 1930 Aston Martin 2.4 International open-bodied sports. It was found in 2 separate locations in Scotland by the same owner, brought together in one place as a complete restoration project, as you see here. But equally, what makes it so important is that history file. So follow me and let's go and have a look. Right, here's the history file for that very lot, and immediately I can see that it's full to the brim, which is very good news. We've got auto books, we've got badges, but what is very important for something like this is the provenance. We have fantastically a documented history of every single part and every single document that has with the car, which shows any interested buyer exactly what they're buying. That's also found online, of course. Aston Martin register books, and then in here, which is very important, original buff log books. If you have a look at this here This will tell you when it was last on the road. Lovely piece of history and further documentation. Without this, that project would struggle to sell because it doesn't have its identity. With this and its chassis plate, we have an identity, we have photos of the car in period, which makes it a real find and a really interesting restoration project. It's certainly half, if not more, of the value of the car, and fantastic to have in this order. Next up is mine and many people's personal favourite of this auction. It's lot 170. It's the Ford GT40 by Super Performance. It's not an original GT40, but it's as close as you can damn well get it because it's a continuation car, one of the only brands that have been allowed to call themselves the GT40. The estimate on this, I think, is very sensible, 90 to 110,000 pounds. It would cost you near $250,000 to get these built. They all started in South Africa, then they would be shipped and they would be fitted with their engines and gearboxes. This one, a 6-litre Roush V8, so you're not going to be hanging around. The car is absolutely as new. The mileage, 165 miles only. The car has been in the collection and remained in the collection. Inside, it's as practical as the original. Perhaps if you're over 6 foot, you might want to sort of sneak yourself in, but everyone else will be fine. Mainly me. It's in a lovely colour combination with those racing stripes. I genuinely think that's the car of the auction and we'll rock it away. We'll have to see on Saturday. Keep your eyes peeled. Now, since we're at the home of Mercedes-Benz, of course we should do something very special with the 3-star. This here is a Mercedes-Benz 450 SLC, but with a 5-litre engine. And the reason being is it's a homologation special, one of just 1,600 built, so that Mercedes could go back into groups rally racing. This example, which is absolutely stunning, is lot 153. Its estimate is between 23 and 30,000 pounds, which I don't think is that much for such a special car. Bear in mind that when they homologated this car, they then went to the World Rally Championships, and it is the only automatic example to ever win a rally stage. This example, as I mentioned, is beautiful throughout, including this beautiful velour interior and stunning coachwork. One of just 1,600 ever made, probably very few still in this condition. Part of the Stuttgart collection, I think this should be really the top of the list for any Mercedes-Benz collector. Right, next up is one of my favourite modern classics, which is the first generation Audi TT, which is a bit nondescript, you might add, but this particular example has done, yes, a mere 580 miles from new. Naturally, it presents as new. Now, we've guided this 18 to 25. Bear in mind, you can pick these up for very little money with higher mileage, but being a Generation 1 car, I think in the right colours, the right specification, and with such low mileage, makes it really, really collectible. The only thing I think make it more collectible is, as per these first generations, if we took that rear spoiler off, if you remember all the dramas. This, I think, will do very well auction day. It is as new as you'd expect. I think over £20,000 is not a terribly difficult ask.
Well, that is just a snapshot of the 175 lots we have got on offer this weekend. Please come along and see us. We are at Mercedes-Benz World in Surrey.
Now, a quick word from our sponsors, Charles and Dean. If you are interested in financing a car or purchasing subject to finance, please do get in contact with them. The details will be below and they can pre-authorise you to bid at auction. Equally, of course, if you are bidding and you can't make it on the day, please do follow us online at historics.co.uk where you can pre-register and bid yourself. That's all, folks.
I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.